Determining slope and y-intercept. Remember, we have the form y equals mx plus b. The coefficient before x is m, which is the slope. B is where it intersects the y-axis. Remember, you can find slope by the change in y over the change in x. You can also find slope by doing rise over run. Okay, and this is where it intersects y-axis. Okay, let's take a look at example 1. It says investigating slope and y-intercept. The graph of every non-vertical line crosses the y-axis. The y-intercept is the y-coordinate of the point where the graph intersects the y-axis. The x-coordinate of this point is always 0. So we have the graph represents the linear equation y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. Remember, we have the form y equals mx plus b. Well, in this case, you have y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. The m, or the slope, is negative 2/3. The b is 4. So if we take a look at this picture just at a graphic standpoint, we intersect the y-axis at 4. When we know that we intersect the y-axis at 4, we can also do rise over run. We go down 2 to the right 3. So this is our next point. We go down 2 to the right 3. That's one way of doing it graphically. Another way is to look at the points. So we have find the slope using the points 0, 4 and negative 3, 6. So if we do this as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, we can have 6 minus 4, and we have negative 3 minus 0. 6 minus 4 is 2. Negative 3 minus 0 is negative 3. So we can write it as negative 2/3. All right, step 2. The line also containing a point 6, 0. What is the slope using 0, 4 and 6, 0? Okay, we're going to do the same thing, y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. So if we say 0 minus 4 and 6 minus 0, I get negative 4, 6, and negative 4, 6 simplifies to negative 2/3. Alright, and then now if we use the point negative 3, 6 and 6, 0, we can do the same thing. 0 minus 6 and 6 minus negative 3. So I get a negative 6 over positive 9. I get negative 2/3. Alright, so what do you notice? Well, they're both negative 2/3, so they are the same. Compare your answers in steps 1 and 2 with the equation of the graph line. Well, they are both negative 2/3. So the slope for 1 and 2 is negative 2/3. All right, find the value when x equals 0 using the equation y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. Describe the point on the graph that corresponds to this solution. So if we have y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4, and we plug in for 0, 0 times anything is 0, 0 plus 4 is 4. Well, this is where y equals 4, or the ordered pair 0, 4, and this is where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, compare your answer in step 3 with the equation of the line. Okay, well, 4 is the number added to the term. So 4 is added to negative 2/3 x. All right, let's take a look at the next one. A phone salesperson is paid a minimum weekly salary and commission for each phone sold, as shown in the table. Confirm the relationship is linear and given the constant rate of change in the initial value. All right, so if we have 630 and 480, we subtract them, we get 150. 20 minus 10 is 10. 150 divided by 10 is 15. 780 minus 630 is 150. 30 minus 20 is 10. 150 divided by 10 is 15. 930 minus 780 and 40 minus 30 is 10. 150 divided by 10 is 15. Okay, so if we have the equation y equals mx plus b, we know that m is the 15. Okay, and if we wanted to find the 10, we could work backwards, but there is another way to do it. We could take the first ordered pair, 10, 480, and we could plug it into the equation. So if we had y equals 15x plus b, my x is 10. I want to become 480. What do I have to add to that? 15 times 10 is 150. Then I'm going to subtract 150 from both sides. I get 330. So if I'm writing the equation, it's y equals 15x plus 330. The constant rate of change is $15 per phone that is sold, and no matter what, they receive a $330 salary each week. Okay, let's take a look at number 1. On number 1, we can find the slope. So remember to find the slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we could say y2 minus y1, 32 minus 22, 4 minus 2. 32 minus 22 is 10. 4 minus 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, so that's the slope. Alright, if we have the equation y equals mx plus b, we can take our slope and use it like this. Now, you can either figure out what it is when x equals 0, or you can take the first ordered pair and plug it into the table of values. So we have y is 22, our x is 2, 5 times 2 is 10, then we got to subtract 10 from both sides. We get 12. Alright, so writing it down, we have y equals 5x plus 12. Let's take a look at the next one. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 15 minus 8 is 7. 2 minus 1 is 1. Our slope is 7. If we have the equation y equals mx plus b, we have y equals 7x plus b. You can work backwards and find out when x equals 0, or you can use the first ordered pair. Y is 8, x is 1, 7 times 1 is 7, subtract 7 from both sides. You get b equals 1. So we have y equals 7x plus 1. Alright, let's take a look at the last one. It says a pizzeria charges $8 for a large cheese pizza plus $2 for each topping. The constant rate of change is 2. That's the slope. The initial value is the 8. The total cost for a large pizza is given by the equation c equals 2t plus 8, where t is the number of toppings. Graph the equation for t between 0 and 5 toppings. Okay, so if we're going to look at this, typically we usually write it down in y equals mx plus b format, and we would say y equals 2x plus 8. But we need to be aware of the variables they're using. So in this case, our y is c, and the x is the t. Okay, so now if we're going to do an input-output table, our x is the t, and our thing is 2t plus 8, and we're trying to find the c. And we want to do it for the first 5. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, 2 times 0 plus 8 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 8 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 8 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 8 is 18. So when we graph the ordered pair, we have 0, 8. We have 1, 10. We have 2, 12.